Okay, so for the B1B2, you're usually only given 6 months of I-94 at a time. You can usually do a one maybe extension inside the country, but you have to realize that, okay, if you are subject to the cap, you wouldn't be eligible to start being in the H-1B until October 1, and that's more than 6 months from now. And if you were to do a B2 extension, you might not know how much time, if it's approved or not. It could get a little risky if you're trying to do a change on top of a change. So I would just do a consultation. And if the nonprofit you're talking to doesn't have an attorney that they've ever worked with, then, like we help in those situations. And that's a pretty common thing for us, or if, just in general, is if the company or the nonprofit that you're trying to work with has never sponsored anyone before, then what often happens is they comes to us, they get an opinion, and then they hook us up with their employer and say, hey, maybe this could be a good attorney for the employer. And this usually happens with more of small operations that haven't ever gone through the H-1B process before. So that's something that could happen, I'm suggesting, but also just it is possible to do what you're saying, but I'm a little worried about the timeline of it, especially if you are subject to the cap. You might need to just leave the country and, make those connections, leave the country and do the consular processing to finish it all up instead of a change of status. Because we still a lot of unknowns. If you're subject to the cap, then you have to be chosen the registration and it has to get approved, right? So there's a lot of unknowns there.